Hi everyone and welcome back to another Borkino game video. Today's video is day K2, Climb Battle 1, April 2021, day 2. So we're going to be running some comps here. Let's go ahead and go through this. Needle Creeper. Now the thing is with Needle Creeper, nothing really crazy here. Your standard comp with June, Kaori, Makoto, Saren, and Shori, right? This is pretty regular, and of course you can replace Shori with Suzuna, Arisa, whichever archer, or you can even replace, someone as long as they stay far away enough from Saren, alright? The purpose of this comp is for Saren to boost Makoto, okay? That way Makoto has the highest uptime, pretty much dealing her defense breaks. And of course, the Makoto Kaori comp is actually the most overpowered thing in the game, I feel, because you can technically run Makoto and, any other defense breaker like Makoto Mitsuki, Makoto Jun, Makoto Shinobu, without Kaori there to deal like heavy DPS, like physical DPS. It's very difficult to find someone that can be similar to her. The closest maybe I feel is the archers. If the archers are placed in a situation where they can actually gain TP and they can actually be hit, because the advantage with Kaori is that she is both very tanky, tanky enough to sit in the front lines and not die during CB, not in PvP situations, right? But also, she has enough buffs to herself to increase her damage even further, okay? Kaori is a special situation kind of character where if she didn't have like all of those capabilities to keep herself alive, to buff herself, to increase her damage, she wouldn't be as coveted, and there's not very many characters that can do it except Hiyori, alright? And you're going to be seeing her in the next comp. This is going to be the Cyclops. Now, when it comes to the Cyclops, it was definitely interesting finding this comp, because you're going to see here, it's not like, the standard 2 def breaks that you normally see. It's not Jun and Mitsuki and, Makoto, right? It's going to be Shinobu this round. Shinobu with, the Skull Poppy, or the Skull, is going to be pretty good, alright? So you can see here what's pretty much going on. Note that the Cyclops is going to be targeting Hiyori. That is very important, because this allows Kaori to pretty much deal her Union Burst, and same with Makoto, alright? Hiyori is one of the best when it comes to this, because she is able to self-buff herself just enough to be able to take the Cyclops aggro. Now, she's even better at 5-star. I don't have her at 5-star. The less stars that you have, the less viable this is technically. And yes, my Hiyori is at 9-3. So, it's up to you whether you want to run this team. Just note that Shinobu is actually a pretty good defense breaker for this situation, because the Skull Dad can also block some attacks, alright? So Shinobu, a little bit better than Mitsuki in some situations, but you can definitely still run Mitsuki and be perfectly fine. But I just wanted to suggest this comp, and I was actually able to deal more damage with this one. And of course, I am auto life. I'm not doing anything manual. I know manual you can get more damage, but it's really hard just figuring out these comps and then stressing out by getting the timings right. It's kind of a nightmare for me, because it's like, I'd rather do trials all day than Clash. I wish you could just pick one set of damage for your trial runs and then pretty much go from there. Alright, so that's going to be damage to characters. Let's go ahead and run Night Clan Battle for pretty much Pigs. Now, when it comes to Pigs, my only thing is that he is something that is so annoying to me. And I'm going to be showing you after this run, I'm just doing like a trial run, right? What is going to be happening. So Makoto, this is going to be the comp that I'm going to be running. And some of you are wondering, well, why is it this comp? Is this comp good enough? Well, Tamaki is pretty much key for keeping my units alive here. Tamaki, you can say, acts as somewhat of a healer, but not really at all. The reason why she acts as a healer is to prevent those UBs from occurring and killing the team, right? So that's going to be a perfect situation where she can apply here, because my units cannot pretty much take the damage that the pigs are going to be dealing out, because sometimes it's just like one of those things where your characters aren't strong enough, right? And of course, I'm borrowing this Makoto. This isn't mine, so I'm not sure all the details are. Hopefully they're all upgraded, right? So when it comes to this, look at all the damage that the pigs are going to be dealing. Note that they do have an enraged face. Some people actually like the enraged version of the pigs, because they can pretty much get more TP from it. And as you can see here, my Makoto pretty much dies, right? So it's just enough to pretty much keep these characters alive. While the situation for me isn't the best, this was for some reason like the best run that I could cobble together. Like, it would be like, usually it's 450k, but this one's probably going to be like 420k, which is still not bad because it's, you know, it's like a 20-30k difference. Oh, obviously over time that's pretty huge, but to me this is sufficient enough. This can score a little bit better depending on the situation. All right, and I'll be running like this exact same team, but the thing that I wanted to show you the most is going to be my wall of pretty much like stuff that I have ran, right? So I'm going to be sharing mostly this. We did some weird breakdowns of the way Yukari works. Now it's kind of interesting because the way Yukari did it, she actually has more heals on her 5-star version than her 2-star version. So I found that kind of interesting. Just note that the TP like boost, it doesn't get affected by stars, but it's also harder to cast your UB when you have more stars applied to the character. So it's just one of the things that I wanted us to be aware of when it comes to Yukari, right? Alright, so now that you pretty much know my comps, one of the things that I wanted to show you was the magic comp, because I'm pretty sure some of you are like, hey Bork, you haven't ran like the magic comp. Alright, let's do it. Okay, this is going to be it. This is going to be the magic comp because I know some people wanted to try it out. Now, while it isn't the best, you know, comp, it is okay. Like, it is almost at the same level as my weakest team, right? It's almost at the same level as my weakest team. Obviously, I could change out some characters, but just note that Kokoro actually has a magic buff. You know, you can see Kyoka had that little magic buff for a second, but that was a self buff. And Maho actually has a magic buff as well, alright? And same with Akari. And note that buffs do stack. So it's really nice to pretty much have all of this buffing capability within the different characters. Note here, I didn't use Io. Io has a charm and it really doesn't do much against bosses since they're pretty much immune to that stuff. But it would be really cool if the pigs started fighting each other. Maybe. I doubt that would happen because bosses, you know, that would be way too broken, alright? So when it comes to this, you can see how everything is going. 230k damage at 20 seconds. Not really the best, you know, the goal, they'll probably hit like 300k closely, but, you know, the Magic team, it's still sort of a dream. Maybe you guys can, you know, give me more comps down below of like Magic people doing a little bit better. But this is the one that worked out for me. You know, feel free to run different ones. You know, if you have like Hatsune or Anna or any other characters, you know, possibly they could work out better for you. But that's one of the things that I wanted to showcase because, you know, Magic is on everyone's mind since Kyoka is going to be here. But let's go ahead and run some PvP as we always do and pretty much check things out. Alright, let's go ahead and run this team right here. I have Akari to pretty much take down that Miyako that's up front. Now, I left June here because June and Nozomi are actually a really good pair. And the goal here is hopefully, you know, they don't get taken down by the Io's magic damage, but I sort of doubt it. I feel like I could have done better if I ran like in a pretty much Akari, Makoto, Kokoro, or Kaori team. I feel like that would have been better. But let's go ahead and try this one and see how it works out. So June is going to be staying alive. That's going to be like a non-issue. She's never going to die as long as Nozomi is around. I feel like they're just the perfect pair. Sort of like how Miyako and Kuka complement each other. June is definitely a complement to Nozomi because their heals together pretty much keep each other alive. And not to mention Akari providing her UBs and pretty much giving a bit of lifesteal. It works out very well. So with this one, I am banking on the fact that my character is a little bit higher stars and stuff. And Io is interesting because I've been seeing a lot of Hatsunes within like the actual like team comps, and I also put Nozomi on the second slot because she's going to be blinded, and most of the time when I run like Makoto or Kaori and they're in the second slot, them being blinded is probably one of the worst things that can happen. But you can see here we're pretty much getting outgunned. By that I mean like, or out-tanked, so probably not going to win this one. I want a rematch. I would probably remove the June just because it didn't work out and probably go more offensive with, you know, the Kokoro and Kaori and Makoto comp. But I feel like this one I was just a bit too defensive and I could have done more if I was a little bit more confident. But I'm waiting for like that magical-esque team to pop up and I'll probably do it later off camera. Alright, let's go ahead and run some Princess Arena, see if we can find anything doable. Alright, let's go ahead and run these teams, see what happens here. I'm going to be praying, and for the most part, I made some decisions where it's like, I feel like these teams will be best. Pretty much when I see like a magic comp, I'm instantly like Nozomi and June now. Now with this one, this is like one of those things where I was like, alright, I see Miyako, I don't see a Tamaki. So I'm gonna try the Mage Male comp, alright? Like, that's what's going on in my head, and Miyako died. This team is screwed. Okay. Okay, I see my mess up here. I'm not sure if Nozomi would have stayed alive. Oh, maybe I can take this back a little. Can we actually make it through? You know, Monica dying, that's okay. I mean, not really, but we managed to actually do enough damage to break through this pretty much comp. So that's surprising. I was really sweating when Miyako pretty much died on that run. All right. Let's go ahead and see what's going to be happening on this one. Okay, so with this comp, my biggest worry is definitely going to be the Mitsuki, because usually she can break through, and you know, June can't really keep up with the amount of damage when she's death broken, and you know, pretty much all these things are occurring. But hopefully the magic damage, you know, since she's a magical tank and it's coming from Hatsune, she'll do a little bit better. Okay, we have Nozomi left. We lost the Makoto. That's a pretty huge L, and I'm not sure if we took the enemy team's tank. Oh, since they only had one tank, we might be in for it. We might be okay. Tamaki, okay, we took down the Hatsune. We have Nozomi left, and Monica, and pretty much Mitsuki. Mitsuki is definitely going to be the deadliest one here, because Mitsuki can heal if she gets a kill on Nozomi. And not to mention Tamaki, that aim on the Monica, I'm not sure about that one. Because if Mitsuki just gets one kill, if she gets that Yubi, okay, we managed to hold out just a little bit. Nah, no. Yeah, that Mitsuki, I always know when I see a Mitsuki, she's the scariest thing on the field, alright? Mitsuki is a threat in both PvP and clan battle. And note with this clan battle, like, my biggest thing is try different comps once you get to Pigs and once you get to Cyclops, alright? Cyclops is definitely the one with the most room for pretty much negotiation, because his abilities, you know, want to aim for the highest attack character. So you can take advantage of that by bringing someone like Hiyori. You can bring another character so the aggro isn't on someone like pretty much Makoto and Kaori. If Makoto and Kaori are taking the aggro, the team won't work out as well. Probably going to take the L here. I'm not sure. Yeah, we're definitely taking the L. Oh, man. Okay, well, you win some, you lose some. You have those days. But anyways, hopefully the clan battle like videos that I pretty much showed and the team comps were fairly interesting to you. I know like the last pig one was pretty much a trial. I'm going to be running that exact team. I haven't found anything that's really worthy outside of that one. But anyways, if you made it this far in today's video, consider subscribing, dropping a like, leaving a comment, follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter. Once we hit 17,500 subs, we'll be doing a giveaway. And also I'll be doing a Disgaea RPG video later on the day. Alright, thanks so much for watching and have yourself a fantastic day. See you in the next one.